Hi folks, Wingman checking in. Today I'm going to do a little comparison test of shooting a carbon fiber arrow and an aluminum arrow through my Chrony. What I'm going to use today is a Victory Archery V-Force HV. Now the weight on this is about 6.4 grains per inch, and I'm shooting a aluminum Easton arrow. It is the Fall Stalker, and this is about 12 grains per inch. What we're also going to test and compare is penetration on the target versus the weight difference and the velocity. So stay tuned, we'll get the test rolling. In case anybody's wondering what I'm using to shoot with, I'm shooting with a Chief AJ HFX Slingshot with 30-pound bands. Okay, first arrow that we're going to shoot is the Victory Force HV. Arrow number 1. 127.5. These have always been a great arrow for me shooting with this HFX Slingshot. Arrow number 2. 130.8 feet per second. Not bad. Pretty consistent with the last test I did with 30-pound bands. And 131.9. Now we're going to continue with the Easton Fall Stalker. This is model number 2117. I don't know if you can see it on there, but it's 2117. I got them at Dick's Sporting Goods, the 12 grain per inch. So this arrow is about twice the weight. Let's see how it does. I'm about 3 feet back from the Chrony. 112. $114. And let's get our last arrow through here. Pardon the noise, the neighbors are doing some yard work. 108. All right, folks, let's see how the penetration test did. Let's start with Victory arrow. So we got about maybe 4.5 inches. Let me mark that spot. Now I'll pull out an Easton. And they're running pretty close. Let's try the next one. Roughly about the same. I'm finding that it's pretty consistent. Look at that. So for the velocity is a little bit less, but because of the weight of the arrow, I'm getting the penetration. Oh, that one penetrated big time. So on some of the arrows, on the aluminum, it penetrated a little bit farther, but because of the higher velocity in the carbon fiber, I'm getting equal to or a little bit greater than penetration. So with that said, obviously because the arrow is heavier, I'm going to get a little bit slower velocity going over the Chrony. But in a penetration test, they're pretty much even. The carbon fiber just barely inches it out. So I wouldn't have any problem shooting either one of these arrows, and I'm pretty confident that with a broadhead that I could consistently take small game with this with the 30-pound bands. Now Chief AJ is taking big game with his, and he had, I believe, 40 or 50-pound bands on his. Even took a grizzly bear up in Alaska this year with it. Now you're probably all wondering, hey John, where do I get my Chief AJ HFX sling bow? I'm going to throw out a shout out to a great website. I'm not affiliated with them in any way, but they offer great customer service. Great bunch of folks down in Texas. It's slingshotsusa.com for all your slingshot needs, whether it be the Chief AJ HFX Slingshot, or they have just about everything else you can imagine that is slingshot related. So I invite you and encourage you to check them out. It's a great bunch of folks down there. You can't go wrong with their customer service. Folks, I hope this video was helpful to you, and I will definitely see you on the next video. Thanks for checking in. If you liked the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. And check me out on Facebook and Instagram at Wingman115. Take care, folks.